Sitting still and reading a book was once Billy Ellery's idea of torture.
It was so hard for him to concentrate, like basically impossible really. And he didn't want to read. I could coax him into it, but it was like pulling teeth.
That was until Billy was diagnosed with inattentive attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, a subtype of ADHD that he now takes medication for.
I think it's made me more be able to focus in school and wanting to go a lot more, not get stressed out and not hate it.
To get an ADHD diagnosis, a usual first step is an appointment with a GP, who will do an initial assessment for the telltale signs of the disorder: difficulty concentrating, being easily distracted, and a tendency to be hyperactive or impulsive. If one or more of those boxes is ticked, the patient will be referred to a specialist, usually a psychiatrist, neurologist or paediatrician. The problem is most paediatricians in the ACT have closed books.
It's pretty upsetting because the children need the help, and when you realise that they need the help, the sooner the better.
On advice from a friend, Beck turned to a specialist in Sydney. With travel costs, time off work and multiple trips up the Hume, Billy's diagnosis cost thousands of dollars.
It was just a no-brainer. We just had to do that because that was the simplest and most efficient way to do it.
Paediatrician Dr. Kim Bland hasn't taken on new patients for some time. Those who snagged an appointment before she closed her books face a 2-year wait. By the time they're sitting in her office,
most of them are in a total state of chaos.
It's a fact that weighs heavily.
That idea of having our books closed and not being able to see people is so that we can care for the patients that we have got and also care for ourselves.
Patients are also waiting more than a year for an initial consultation with a psychiatrist or a neurologist. The problem is twofold. There's a critical shortage of specialists in Canberra, and they're working within a decades-old system that relies on them to be the gatekeepers of ADHD diagnosis and treatment. A system Dr. Bland says is outdated and failing Canberrans. A solution she would welcome is allowing general practitioners to manage straightforward cases. Dr. Kerry Ost, a GP with a keen interest in ADHD, would too.
I just feel that if we can put more of the simplicity back into general practice, then we can free up some non-GP specialists to clear some of that wait list.
It was videos like these that prompted Harmony Havata to question whether she might have ADHD.
Yeah, everything just sort of clicked.
Harmony, a full-time student, was shocked at the cost of an ADHD assessment. Despite shopping around, she still had to space her specialist appointments out over a year in order to afford them, delaying her diagnosis and access to medication that's made her life easier.
It just makes me feel like that I'm barred from being able to be the best possible version of myself that I can be for not just me but for my daughter as well. So the fact that our financial situation is dictating that is really upsetting.
At the top of the young mum's to-do list is adjusting her medication.
It's going to be another $175 for a follow-up appointment with my psychiatrist, and it's just money we don't have.
Easing that financial burden is another reason to allow GPs to step up. Ultimately, it's the Territory's Chief Health Officer who can approve changes to the current system. The ABC understands her directorate is considering how Canberra's doctors could help bridge the gap and has plans to make improvements within the next 12 months.
So I think we would be trying to enhance the skills of GPs to diagnose, but also to enhance their skills in terms of potentially looking at collaborative prescribing.
A possible fix to a part of Canberra's health system that's under pressure. Rosie King, ABC News, Canberra.